Hey, this is Chuck Worley with the 757 House Whisperer Show, coming to you live every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We are here to teach you about the problems that you are having in your house. We are here to really help you figure out the problems in your house. And don't lie, we all know there's problems in every house, including our own. We've had to fix our own houses. So we have got, I think one time, well, when Mike was here, we always break 100, when Mike is here, on the amount of years that we have combined on this. But we end up at, he's at 52 years, I think. So that gives us a good head start. Anyway, I am Chuck Worley. We're going to kind of introduce everybody on the House Whisperers Show. We have the 757 House Whisperer Show tonight, and we have got a surprise guest for you guys. I know I told you last week and that we have interviewed over 10 roofing companies in the Hampton Roads area, and I did not just go out and just hire any roofer off the spot. It has been almost a year since we've had a roofing sponsor on the show, co-host on the show. And we have made that decision. Actually, been talking about it for a couple months, and just figured out, got it worked out this week. So we got somebody actually yesterday. So got everything all worked out. So we have a great new co-host that you guys are gonna. We're gonna let him introduce himself in a few minutes. But I want to remind you guys to call in 627-7979. The phone number to call is 627-7979. I want you to call in and ask any problems from your roof to your crawl space, to your sheetrock, to your painting, to your construction. Is the construction business busy right now, Alvin?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So call in, ask any problems in your house that you're having, whether it's water, whether it's whatever it is. You call in and ask any problems that you're having with your house, and we will give you the answer. It is impossible for you to stump our team. We've got 4 guys on tonight, and I am gonna start introducing everybody. But I do want to remind you, 627-7979. You guys know why we're here every single week. Remember, when you call in and ask a question about a problem with your house, we're not only helping you, but we are helping thousands of listeners across the Hampton Roads that are having very similar problems. So you're not just helping yourself. You're actually helping other people in our community. I do want to say, anybody that calls in, we have Column 15 Coffee, that you get a free gift card when you call in and ask any questions about your house. So I'm going to start off introducing me, and we are going to end it with our sponsor, our new roofing co-host. You'll be surprised to know who it is. He's a very quiet guy. Not.
Well, he's quiet right now.
He is quiet right now. So, all right. Well, I'm going to start off and introduce. I am Chuck Worley. My son and I own Worley's Home Services. We do heating and air conditioning, ductwork, electrical, plumbing, crawl space encapsulation, spray foam insulation, and we have a lot of fun.
Did you say geothermal wells?
I do not. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. So we bought Jake Gildersleeve's company, Gildersleeve Geothermal and Well, last year, actually 1 year ago, last week. And we do geothermal systems, wells, pumps, service wells. That is a good business. So you want me to introduce Mike?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll introduce Michael Davenport with CVP Windows and Doors. He is our co-host. And the other day he goes, "Yeah, we've been doing this for a year." I said, "Mike, it's been 2 years. We're ready to start our third year next week." And he goes, "Holy crap, we have done it. This will be our third year. January will be the start of our third year." I can't believe that.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's not work if you're having fun doing it, right?
Yeah.
So we enjoy having fun with you guys on Wednesdays and helping you figure out.
You
your
did
houses.
add this new button here. That's kind of, I'm sitting here playing with it. I don't know. It's just,
it's
I
a
can't
timer
stop,
button.
like,
So
I
want to say to stop Mike from talking, but more than likely it's for me to stop.
It's got this nice digital display.
We're all
this
professional
big bright
here.
green
we
button.
are professional here.
Yeah.
All right. So Michael Davenport with CVP Windows and Doors. And we have Cindy Raw, who has Alpha Pest Solutions. She is the only woman you know with a license to kill, and that is animals, not people. At least she's never been convicted of any, but license to kill. So go ahead, Mr. Albin.
So I'm Albin with Albin Co. We specialize in remodels, kitchens, baths. We also do additions, and we love to create things with our hands and see customers just when we're done with the product, just them getting to use it and be so excited about having a new kitchen or a new bathroom or new home or whatever it is. And so if you're interested, just look us up.
And my name is Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. We do residential and commercial painting. We're located right here in Yorktown, Virginia, and service all of Hampton Roads. We do interior painting, exterior painting, fence and deck staining, as well as a ton of sheetrock and drywall repairs. So it's stress cracks, nail pops, got a hole in the wall, water damage, as well as any type of texture on your walls, whether it's knockdown, orange peel, popcorn, all that good stuff. We can get in, make it look brand new, and just try to provide an easy, stress-free experience with the contractor.
What's going on, guys? My name is Colson McCorney.
What's going on, guys? My name is Colson McCorney. I am the Director of Sales for Mighty Dog Roofing of Richmond. We are not just a roofing contractor. We also specialize in siding and gutters. Our goal is just to try to bring as good a quality products and services and solutions as we can to our clients for a fair price. I mean, there's no reason that you guys should have to pay a premium to get a product that's worth having on your home. And if there's a creative way that we can do that to help you save money in the process, we'd absolutely love to have a conversation with you.
Somehow your mic was off. It's on now. So
is it on now?
Yeah,
much better.
Yeah,
much better. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It helps when Chuck turns on the mic. So
well, I wasn't going to put blame on you, but
it was 100% my podcast abilities over here on the mic. So, well, that is great, man. We are excited to have Mighty Dog Roofing, and of course, like I said, they're doing siding and gutters, and they are going to be a great asset to our team. I call anybody or challenge anybody with any roofing issues to call in and try and stump my buddy. Now, he's a young buck like Jack, but not as young as Jack. So Jack still gets the title of young buck.
Is this a good time to mention our coffee sponsor?
I did already.
Oh, you did? I just glazed over on that one, I guess.
Yeah. Column 15. Anybody that
15.
calls in and calls in and ask any question that you have about your house, doesn't have to be roofing, but any question about your house, 627-7979. I've had a couple text messages today of some problems that some customers are having. I don't know why people are shy to call in. It's a lot of fun. We won't give you a hard time. We love answering questions because there are so many issues with houses nowadays. Just the stuff that we run into is just absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, we love answering those questions. I do want to get whoever wanted to do their kind of public service announcement part of the show, whether it's cold paint on or painting on a nice cold 30 degree day. I think that would be a great idea.
I could pipe in on something for, unless
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, as we're coming into the cold weather, just some things that you can think about is, checking your door seals, checking, this would be a Michael thing, is checking the seals around your windows, looking for those cold air leaks. This kind of hits on everything. You got to have proper doors, proper windows, proper AC, proper seal in the house. If the seals aren't well, then you're going to put more stress on your unit. Just seal everything up.
Your heat or your air conditioning.
It's just all around. It's a good thing to do. You can insulate to the max, but if you got the door wide open, it's kind of defeating.
I mean, we say it all the time. The house is a system.
Yeah.
It all works together. You could put in the baddest heat and air conditioning system on the planet, but it reminds me of a story. I was sitting in a living room. I'm sitting Alvin is having too much fun with this timer. So it's look, we're going to have fun tonight, whether you do or not. So, but no, I'm sitting here talking to this couple. We're sitting at the living room. We're sitting on a couch, and literally they're like, our furnace just doesn't keep up. Like, I don't care. We could crank it to 100 degrees. It's always drafty in this house. And I'm watching their hair move.
Yeah, it's
like they're leaned up against the back of the couch, like they're sitting back on the couch, and literally their hair is like moving. And I don't mean like a little bit. I mean like their hair is like moving. Their window is at the top of the back of the sofa. So their window is right
there.
And it's literally, air is literally going in and out of the house. People are opening and closing doors. Kids were running around, and just the building science is going mad in my head,
right?
Because I'm watching just all this infiltration of air going through this, and the windows were closed. Windows were closed, and I'm watching this air just fly through this lady's hair.
Okay.
Like it was amazing to me, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. I could put 4 furnaces in your house, and you're not going to be able to keep.
It's too much air.
It's too much air loss in the house.
We were doing some crazy math on that the other day, where we were talking about how many quarter size holes does it take to add up to a door size opening in your house, And so all these little holes add up to bigger, big air exchange, and you want to avoid that air exchange in that way. It's just not a good thing. When we say exchange,
we're talking about air loss.
Yeah, okay.
Heat in
That's
your
a better
house.
way to say it.
Maybe a better way to say it. I mean, we understand air exchange, but it's how much air is being lost in your house. So if your air is in and you got a negative, I always try and explain it, if you have a room that's got a positive pressure, remember science class, if you got a room that's positive and a room that's negative, and you open up that door, where's the air going? It's going to the negative, room. I always explain that attics are a negative pressure space, right? Because they got the draft of the house, they got the soffits. So if you have holes in your ceiling, like a ceiling fan or a pull down staircase or whatever, you have an opening in that ceiling,
like a recessed light.
A recessed can light is the worst, right? Those things leak like sieves. So if you got a negative pressure in your attic, that air is going to actually, the natural draft of a house is up. It's literally going to suck heat out of your house, suck air conditioning out of your house through the recessed can light or through the pull down staircase or through the ceiling fan. I mean, it is, and that's what we're talking about. If the window's not sealed properly.
Even in a well-sealed house, if the house isn't balanced correctly, tell me if I'm wrong, but let's say you don't have enough registers, but you got this massive return, it's going to put a negative pressure on the house. Every time you open that door up, it's just going to be like.
It can. I mean, I've seen houses they had too much return in a bedroom. They were sucking out more air than they were putting into the room.
So we still have open lines. We're here for you guys. Give us a call, 757-627-7979. Don't forget, you're going to get a coffee card or a gift card of some sort if you call in. No need to answer a question or trivia or anything like that. Just call in, say, hey, tell us who you are, and we can help you solve some things you haven't really thought about. And so we're here talking right now about air and infiltration into the house and just trying to figure out like how we can help you guys prepare for the winter as it's coming on. Still, even though you're coming into to these times, you're going to want to be sure that you get your unit cleaned. I'm guessing you still clean units in the winter. It doesn't only have to happen in the summer.
We like them to work.
Yeah. So, just go around. If you're seeing any mold or mildew on your windows, around your windows or doors, it's a telltale sign that something's not happening right there. What did you say? It wasn't an exchange. It was a loss of
air loss.
Yeah, air loss.
Yeah. So during the wintertime.
But those are definitely signs of stuff that's not right in your house.
That's right.
I was in a lady's house the other day. Still HVAC, I think. She was getting water stains around her air vents on her ceiling. What
happens?
What is causing that?
And was she paying you
effect.
to paint that?
Well, we were. Then I told her to have Worley's come. So one of you guys actually went out the next day, and I forgot. I didn't ask her what happened, but
imagine that was an attic.
Yeah, her attic was above it. And
so
she had ductwork that between two of the pieces of ductwork was actually open. Her husband had ended up resealing and stuff like that. But
so what's happening there?
That's your space, Chuck.
All right.
I know it. So essentially what's happening, from what it sounds like is it's 140 degree or 135 degree on average attic temperature. Mixing with air that's coming out of the back of the unit, it's 55 degrees. So if you have 72 meeting 140, you're going to have condensation. When that condensation happens, it sweats. And duct sweat, even with proper insulation, can still get around that vent and cause that ceiling sheetrock to be stained.
So what happens if we paint it?
It's going to come back.
Of course. Yeah, because you haven't fixed. So that is what we call a symptom, not the problem.
Right.
So she calls you. She has a problem. Is she right? Absolutely. She has a problem that she has a stained ceiling, but it's really a symptom to us. It's not the problem.
Right.
It's a symptom that there is a problem. The problem is we have hot touching cold, which causes condensation. When we have condensation, we sweat, mold, mildew, all that stuff starts happening. So she's lucky that she called the right painter, because 17 other painters would have been like, I got you, girl, and just paints it.
Right.
Right? That's not the right answer. Because 6 months from now, when the summer hits again, 8 months from now, when the summer really hits, it's going to be sweating again. Now she's pissed off at the painter. She's mad at you because it came back. Well, ma'am, of course it came back. No.
Right.
So now she's always going to keep calling you back, because she's like, I would have had to paint it every single year for the rest of my life.
Right. But this is right back in line with what we're talking about with finding those spots where things are leaking. You can resolve some of that by the proper sealing right there at where that air is dumping into the house. What usually happens is those guys will put that duct in there and they won't seal it properly there. So you're going to have that Venturi effect where it's just like blowing and sucking that hot air right there at the register. And that's where.
Yeah. So it's the gap. It's the gap around the metal and the sheetrock. So everybody in construction knows that when you cut a 4-inch by 10-inch hole, I think the best way to explain it is, if you have a plumber in your house, not from Worley's, a plumber in your house, and he has a 3-inch piece of PVC, how big is the hole that he cuts for
about an 8-inch hole?
It is 8 inches if you're not with Worley's. All right. It's 4 inches if you're with Worley's. Right?
That gives them 3 inches to move the pipe either way.
On each side. Yeah.
To make up for their other mistakes.
So that's a big deal. So if you don't spray foam or seal around that PVC pipe, you're going to have that airflow going in. Well, it's the same thing with a 4-inch by 10-inch duct. So
if
we've
your
only got a few more.
guy is telling you need to get oversized registers to cover the hole they cut,
exactly.
That's a sign that they don't know what they're doing.
Here's your sign. That's what you have. Hey, we've got a couple callers on the wind here on hold. Let's go to Joe in Virginia Beach.
Hello.
How to remove paint? Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, I have a customer who his wife has knocked over a paint can on his driveway, and it's aggregate. And I was wondering if you might have a good idea how to remove that paint from their aggregate driveway.
So I would think that, TNT, you could just blow up that section of
just completely remove the concrete.
But let's go to the painter to get the cheaper way to do that.
I mean, if you have a high pressure, like pressure washer, we've seen that work before. I mean, you can do like
oil base or water
That's
base.
a good question. That's a good question.
That's a horrible question.
Do you know? Yeah, was it just regular interior, exterior, like water-based paint?
Yeah, no, I don't know if it is either one.
Yeah, you're gonna want to know that.
Would a paint remover work, and then use your pressure washer to kind of move it off after the paint remover loosened it up?
I mean, you can. I mean, we're always hesitant to put a bunch of harsh chemicals, especially like on driveways or yards, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a great point.
But if you get a pressure washer or a neighbor, or, I mean, worst case scenario, call a local company in your area that can come out and do it. It should come right up.
If it's oil based, she needs to pray that it was not oil based, because that will be a lot harder to get up.
If it's most likely water based.
Yeah, I would think. I mean,
if you look at the can, it'll tell you if it's like a acrylic or latex paint versus oil. And most likely, I mean, very rare does anybody use oil paint nowadays. So, but yeah, I would definitely go with the pressure washer and see if you can't get it up that way.
One other little tidbit of advice there is to make sure that you maybe just spot treat it with something, because you might be pleasantly surprised that it comes up super easy without a lot of difficulty. And then if that works, you could probably do it all with that one technique.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're coming down to a hard break. The 757 House Whisperer. Thanks for the call, Joe. That is a fantastic call, because you are not the only person that spilled stuff on their driveway. So anyway, that's us, 757 House Whisperer, 627. Hey, this is Chuck Worley with the 757 House Whisperer Show, coming to you live every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We've got a couple callers on hold. I think we're trying to reach one that fell off, but it is 627-7979. Call in, ask any questions about your houses. We've had some good questions coming in tonight. We've got a couple on hold we're getting ready to go to. We're going to introduce ourselves real quick and remind everybody they get a coffee gift card when they call in. Just ask any problems with their house or ask any questions about their house. So I am Chuck Worley with Worley's Home Services. I do heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, ductwork, crawl space encapsulations, spray foam insulation. That is what we do. Geothermal, wells and pumps. Please call in, ask any questions. You want to introduce Mike?
Yeah, so my name is Alvin with Alvin Co., and we specialize in additions, renovations, baths, kitchens, and baths, and we'd love to do your next remodel. And then we would like to introduce Michael with CVP, Michael Davenport. He specializes in windows and exterior doors. They do a fantastic job. They are a local manufacturer here in the Newport News area, and I've been using them since 2000. And I love their product. And we have actually a house that we've ordered windows for recently, and we're going to be taking delivery of those probably in the next 2 weeks. And we're looking to put those in. Looking forward to putting those in.
And my name is Jack with Legacy Painting. We do residential and commercial painting, as well as deck and fence staining and drywall repairs, so stress cracks, nail pops, stuff like that.
My name is Colson Picorni with Mighty Dog Roofing. We are your local roofing, siding, and gutter experts. Our goal is to try to bring as many affordable solutions to as many homeowners as possible, but we don't want to sacrifice quality in the process. We believe that you shouldn't have to pay a premium or an arm and a leg or give up your firstborn just to have a project done on your home. So we'd love to have a conversation.
So have you had to give up? Have you had anybody that said, hey, we'd like to give up our child?
Have you met my child? I might be, depending on the day, I might be willing. So, all right. So we got a caller. I think Mike's trying to reach out to the caller that dropped off, but we got a caller called in from Williamsburg.
Hey, Bentley.
Hey, how we doing, Chuck?
We are doing well. So you got a problem with a house?
Yeah, I got a problem with Mom's house. Hey, so house built in 1974, and of course we're starting to have some foundation problems. Father passed in 08. Mom has, like typical, hasn't really kept up with them. And anyway, long story short, got some foundation issues with them, and we want to try to understand what you recommend, because some years back we had the house encapsulated, and now these issues are starting to arrive from a structural standpoint. The encapsulation, by the way, is absolutely fantastic, going great, and it's helped out a lot with a lot of things in the environment in the house, and we absolutely love that part. But just trying to understand, with regards to these foundation problems, we're going to have an engineer come in, or we want to first of all find out what you recommend with regards to what the steps we should take to be able to get this thing figured out, so we're not getting the runaround in terms of.
Bentley, what kind of problems are you having?
I beg your pardon?
What kind of problems are you having?
Well, like uneven floors or
uneven floors, cracking walls, steps that have got cracks in them now. The typical foundation problems that take place, I guess, at this point with the house that age.
1974 house, obviously they were built pretty well back then, but they do, as we all get older, things start to fail, unfortunately. But we do encapsulations. We do full encapsulations, and we love encapsulations. We do not necessarily do foundation work, but I always recommend, when you're doing foundation work, that you get a third-party company to come in and do a structural engineer who you are going to pay. So do not you want to pay an engineer, because that engineer works for you. There are a lot of big companies out here, which we won't mention. They hire salespeople, they hire sales engineers, and they come in and they're not engineering. They don't have an structural engineering degree. I think the best way, the safest way to find out, because you're going to have this guy's opinion, that guy's opinion. I do know there's companies out there that have their own structural engineer on staff that basically stamps whatever needs to be stamped. But I don't want the engineer to be accountable to the guy that signs his check. Well, actually, I do want him accountable to the guy that signs his check, and that would be you personally. Right? Or your company, right? So you pay the engineer for his report. He will give an exact, this is what you need to do. And then here's the other thing. What if it doesn't work? What if the foundation company does what the engineer says? Well, then the engineer, with his $5,000 stamp or whatever, I'm just kidding, it's not that much. I would probably expect $1,000, $2,000, somewhere in that, depending on the size of the house. But you're paying that engineer for a design that's going to stop your house from settling. It's going to stop your room from being uncomfortable. I can't tell you how many times I've seen companies come in, they do the foundation work, and they still got problems. You ever heard anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Her next door neighbor went through that. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's horrible, and you have nobody to hold accountable, because you don't really know. You're not, I don't know if you're an engineer, but I'm not an engineer, but I'm a building science geek, and I can tell you why things are happening and stuff. But I think the safest thing to do, and if anybody has any questions or wants to talk to me or text, you can text the 955-9415 number. I can get you with an engineer that I've used in the past that will give you an honest opinion of, okay, I need a 10-foot beam or I-beam that needs to go this way or that way. And then you go and you find a foundation company, you give them the proposal of what the engineer says, this is exactly what needs to be done. Then I would pay, some people don't do this, I would pay the engineer like a return fee, probably not going to be as much as the first fee, a return fee, and say, hey, I'm not an engineer. I don't really know what they did under my house. I heard them banging hammers and stuff. I don't really know what they did, but could you just go back and make sure they did exactly what you said so my house doesn't fall? Right? And I think that's the safest way to do that kind of work. So, yeah, you have something?
So, quick question for you on that. So if I have,
sorry, go ahead.
So if I have the engineer come back to inspect their work, should I wait to pay them after he's done the inspection, or how does that work?
I would, to be honorable to the guy, if he did finish the work, obviously you want to pay him. So I would try and like get him like the next day. So the job's going to be done on a Tuesday. Have the engineer there Wednesday. Don't make the guy wait a month to get paid. Don't play with people's money. If they did a good job.
No. Right. Okay.
And I know you wouldn't, but I'm just kind of talking out loud for everybody to hear. Look, if you're having it, you're done Friday. Make sure the engineer's there Monday. He will go into there and be able to tell in 14 minutes probably if everything he said that needed to be done. So, and you might want the contractor to come back if, the contractor would probably want to be there with the engineer because you're paying the engineer. So he works for you. He's not working for the contractor.
Right. I see that. Right.
One other element.
The reason I was asking the question, because I didn't want to go ahead and pay the guy, and then I didn't know how it worked in terms of being able to get him back if this engineer finds that this, and this wasn't done. So I would
be upfront with the contractor. Some contractors, if you say, hey, I'm going to have an engineer inspect this, they may give you a number that you'll never use, or they may never come back. Like they may never give you a number because they're scared to death to be held accountable. So,
a good contractor will actually, if you talk to the right company, obviously, if that company has an in-house engineer, walk away from that company because they'll stamp, like you said, Chuck, whatever needs to be stamped just to get the job moving forward. But a good contractor should be willing to do a final walkthrough and with the engineer, so that way everyone's on the same page.
Yeah. One other element that needs,
and this is a great question. Thank you for calling in. There's so many people going through this stuff right now. They're getting $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 quotes on these things, and it's just, hey, for $100,000, we'll figure out what's wrong under the house and do it. That's not the right answer, right? Not in my opinion. Right. Go ahead, Alvin.
So one other element in this is that, you got an engineer involved, you got a contractor involved, these require permits. So during the process of the finishing of the project, you're not going to pay him if the project fails. So you get in there, have the inspection done also. The inspector's going to see the engineer drawings. Sometimes they don't crawl underneath the house, so you're going to want to see some pictures of that. But again, it's going to be a twofold. You're going to want to, if the contractor comes in to do the work and he doesn't say, hey, I'm not going to pull permit, or he says, I'm not going to pull permits, you're going to run the other way.
Just run as fast as you can. We do have two more callers. We got two roofing calls.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you for calling. And like Alvin said, do not use a company that doesn't we don't have to pull a permit. Bull. I have to pull permits just to encapsulate. So when you're doing foundation work, you 1,000,000%, I don't care what the contractor said, it is a lie if he says I can do it without a permit. It is not. That is not accurate in any city in Hampton Roads. Let's go to Craig and Roof, or whichever was first. Craig or Dave, somebody?
Craig.
It's Craig first.
Yeah, she's talking about the crawl space. I have a crawl space.
Hey, Craig.
And the inspector said that he didn't think I needed to have my crawl space encapsulated. I have 6 mil plastic down there and no air conditioning system. And he said, with all the sun that I get over the house all year round, that he didn't see why it needed to be encapsulated. He said,
not every job, not every house needs. Not every house needs to be encapsulated. I would agree with that. I mean, there are houses out there that are fine with the way they were designed in the 1960s. Now, the problem is we have these McMansions now with 100-foot houses, and back when these permits, these inspections were, the open air crawl spaces were great because they're 30 by 40 houses, or 1,200 square foot houses. That was why everything was. The codes were written the way, that was the word I was looking for. The codes were written the way they were because we don't have 100-foot L-shaped houses. Now that they're bigger, there is a lot more. It looked like, Craig, did you have a roofing company or a roofing question?
I did, but I didn't know you were talking about the crawl space. I thought you were talking about roof condition.
Ask us the roofing question.
Excuse me?
Ask us the roofing. You had a roofing question? We're answering all questions tonight.
Okay, I have of the roof, and I had the roof redone, and they put a open vent all the way across up at the top at the arch, so the heat doesn't build up in the summertime. Now there are leaves in the fall that get in the attic that never got in before. Is that normal for that to happen?
No, that is absolutely not normal for that to happen. So a lot of that's called a ridge vent, just so everyone is aware what that is. And the purpose of a ridge vent is to make sure that not only with your proper intake ventilation that the house can breathe, that helps keep the attic cooler, but it also helps any units like HVAC units or anything be more efficient up there as well, because a house that doesn't breathe will either have a really hot upstairs or a high moisture problem or anything along the lines. But no, leaves getting in through the ridge vent is not normal. We offer free courtesy inspections. Happy to come out and take a look at that. If you want to leave your information with our people, I can reach out to you myself tomorrow. When you see that, normally they cut the hole too wide and then they tried to patch it back up and the patch failed. So that's something that's easily remediable.
That's right. That's a great question. You are not the only person with leaves in your attic. You are helping other people. Yeah, that is not normal. And definitely if you're having something like that, reach out to Mighty Dog Roofing or the 757 House Whisperers Show. The phone number 955-9415. You can call or text that number and we will get you to the right person. Let's go to Dave with a roofing question.
Hey, how you doing this evening?
Hey, Dave.
We're doing good.
Good. Real quick, I know you guys aren't roofers, but I've been hearing these advertisements for these I want to say maybe Roof Max, where they treat the roof, they coat the roof with something, which they claim it extends the life for, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 8 years. And so I just thought I was driving down the highway, I just pulled into my driveway, I thought I'd call you guys and get your opinion if you have one on that idea of coating or treating your roof.
Your luck, you do have a fantastic roofer on the show. That is Colson Portney.
Okay.
Picorni, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm horrible. I'm dyslexic, so I can't, read. But so Colson here can answer any questions about roofs. So he is over here smiling. So I think he's got a answer for you about this type of roofing solution.
I have seen this for years and years now. And when I first got into the industry, I thought, actually, that's not a bad idea. It might be a way for people to save money. And then when you start doing more
or just get a little more useful life. 5 or 6 or 8 years, maybe.
Yeah, no, exactly. And if you're just looking to extend the life, kick the can down the road, like if you're selling the house in the next 2 to 3 years and you want a roof that's going to last, those are some solutions. It's not one that we recommend or we install. Honestly, it's if you really look into it.
It's more hype. They can't live up to the expectations. Is that what you're telling me? That the claims that it'll extend the life are a little bit exaggerated?
Yeah, it's
you can get another
exaggerated.
15 years out of your roof. I'm sure that salesman is good.
Well, if I could spend $1,500 and get another 10 years out of my roof, I think anybody would be foolish not to do that. But if it's really not going to extend the life of the roof, it's throwing good money after bad.
Honestly, to me, it's like if you enjoy flushing $100 bills down the toilet at the end of your day, then by all means go with that.
I think it's kind of like, your heat pump is, 15 years old and you get a $1,500, $1,000 bill to repair it.
Right.
And some people would be like, you know what? I'm selling in 2 years. Hell yeah. Let's drop $1,000. Let's get it running. Let's get it fixed. It's cold. Right. And it kicks the ball down the road. The problem is that if
it's like putting a Band-Aid on a severe cut that needs stitches.
I think that's a great analogy. David, that is a great analogy.
One of the things about it is it's fortified soybean oil. That's what makes it organic, friendly, natural to the environment, is they're taking soybean oil and mixing a polymer into it and trying to put some form of small coating over top of it. It really doesn't do the job. Like I've seen those. I've had customers actually this week that said we did this and it wasn't Roof Max. It was another company that did it. It lasted all of about 6 months before it started completely peeling off the roof. It looked like peeling on a house.
So I guess if they did the
I've read
it 5 times, they'd have a 50-year roof, right?
Well, I've heard them say you got to do it. If you wait until the roof is ready to be, replaced, then it's too late. I've heard them say that, I think, in some of their advertisements. So, I mean, I can kind of understand if you wait too long, then you're not going to be able to treat the roof to extend the life.
I'd probably take a pass on that product.
Yeah, I would take a pass on the product.
But I'm with you. I do agree with your statement. Spend $1,500 and get another 10 years out of a roof. If that was true, I would think it would be a no-brainer to do that. But
And
I don't know
not to say that all roof coating products are bad. Like on a shingle roof, I haven't found one yet, other than pouring this product. It's called
tar.
No, well, besides tar, it's called Mulide. So it's like a rubber silicone sealant that comes out like the viscosity of like a weather tight exterior sealant that you squeeze out of a tube. And it can actually come with a 20-year no dollars limit warranty, and it's built for sloped and flat roofs. But it is like painting your roof with a thick layer, about an inch or two thick. And the warranty depends on how thick we pour it. We can do a half inch per square, inch per square, inch and a half per square.
I bet that's fun to pull off.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. It's kind of like my brother-in-law used to be in the home improvement business in Florida, and he would use a product called Elastomeric. Is it kind of like that? Is it like Elastomeric? Is that
very similar.
I mean, I don't know. It's probably not the exact same thing, but it's the same concept, right?
No, absolutely. It's a very similar product. This is just an ABC Building Supply exclusive product, but they offer killer warranties with it, which is why we've partnered with them for their product on that only. But it's similar to Elastomeric.
What's the aesthetics look like? Does it make the roof look any worse than a roof already looks? I mean, I don't find roofs attractive at all. I know you I'm sorry to offend you, Colson, but I don't find roofs attractive. So I'm like, does it make it shiny? Does it make it is it a different aesthetic to it?
It's got a little bit of a sheen coat to it, not much. It really does a good job actually with reflecting the heat for those in the summer when it gets really hot. It's mainly built for
those painting it white, but
it's the same exact concept, right?
What I kind of hear you saying is when it's time to get a new roof, you're just going to have to get a new roof.
It's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, proper roof maintenance, even if you want to get an extra few years out of your roof, the easiest thing anybody can do is just have a licensed professional soft washer. Don't let anybody scrub it. Don't let anybody power wash it. Just a nice soft wash every year or every other year after the worst of the weather comes around, like after the pollen, after that hard winter. Get it once every other year. You can add an easy 4 to 6 years just from keeping that microbiotic growth out of the gaps in your shingles.
I think I did read where
I heard a tarp will work too, like a big blue tarp. I had a next door neighbor that had a blue tarp for, 3 years. It was ridiculous. He had a blue tarp on his house for like 3 years, and I'm like, I get it. The roofing, they're busy, but they're, So I think he was trying to kick the ball down the road. So he has I don't know. My wife would not put up with that for. So, all right. So we got a few minutes. Dave, that was a great question. Thank you for calling in. You have helped thousands of listeners in Hampton Roads with this same type of problem. So I think we got a few minutes. I'm going to introduce everybody on the way out. I am Chuck Worley with Worley's Home Services. We got Michael Davenport with CDP Windows and Doors. We've got Cindy Raw, the Alpha Pest Solutions. And then we got
Albin with Albin Co. We specialize in remodels, kitchens, and baths.
And then I got Jack with Legacy Painting.
And Colson Picorni with Mighty Dog Roofing.
All right. We got 1 minute left. So thank you guys for calling in and asking these questions. I don't think you guys realize how much you are helping other people in this area, answering questions, problems with their house. We had a lot of great roofing questions that we have helped a lot of people with tonight, and crawl space nightmares. Definitely call in 955-9415. You can call or text that phone number. We have somebody holding on to take those calls. But call in or 757housewhisperer.com, and it's got links to all of our websites. So thank you again for the 757 House Whisperer Show.
Good night.
The preceding program was sponsored and paid for by Worley Home Services, who's entirely responsible for its content.